nobody. He's coming off couple walk wins, which I say this not to start a shirt talk, but it's real. Like the last couple guys he fought, they haven't do anything. He beat a guy that is, it's past his prime multiple years ago. He's been not fighting really, and then he's coming in with one win against a newcomer, and that was like it took him a lot of damage to win the fight. So if you make the math, he needs to fight somebody like me to stay relevant. And guess what? I'm not even in the ranking, so that shows a little bit that if I'm in the rankings, I'm like I won't call out somebody that is not in the rankings just to prove myself. I'm like I'm looking forward. I'm gonna fight somebody ahead of me, but everybody's different. So at the end of the day, they offer me the fight. I'm like, why not? Fuck it. The guy have a number next to his name is good for me. Honestly, dude, with pressure, without pressure, talking about me, not talking about me. Again, I don't give a fuck. Like I don't chase those things. I don't chase people talking about me. How you get that is just going in there and fucking people out. That's what the UFC wants. That's what they know what wants. They don't care about. Nobody cares about nothing. It's like nobody cares about feelings. People cares about winners. Once you do that, you're good to go. So flying under the radar, like all those words are just like a sportsman. Like I don't think like that. I just work hard. I just prepare for battles, and I try to train with the best people around me to take me to the next level. So I have nothing in my mind besides winning and being ready and doing the right thing. Yeah, I'm gonna use every single tool from my toolbox. I'm gonna go in there and fight. I feel I'm the best when I freestyle, when I goes in there and I just let it go. And the game plan is set. My coaches tell me great ideas, where to go, what to do, but at the end of the day, you gotta go in there and make the fight. You gotta feel the fight. You gotta see the energy. So, if the fight goes 3 rounds, I'm ready for that. If the fight goes less than that, even better. I go grab a beer earlier. So, I'm feeling good. And this fight's all about just being there, being present, and be focused because it's a fight. Anything can happen. Like anything can happen. So you better be ready.
He's a black belt jiu-jitsu, super tough, hasn't been finished. I think I've seen a stat, he's like 10 UFC wins or something like that. Is that right? Could be making that up, but I think I saw that. He beat Song Yadong last fight. He's on a 6-fight win streak, 5 finishes. Rankings don't mean nothing. They just don't. Realistically, it doesn't matter. I'm better than. I feel like I could be number 1. I could be the champ. I'm ranked 15 or whatever. Mm-hmm. So rankings don't really mean too much, at least from my perspective. From fans' perspectives, they say, "Oh, you're not even fighting someone ranked." But I give Chito a lot of credit and a lot of respect that he's up there. He's definitely top 15 in the world, in my eyes. So I think it's the perfect next fight for me. I think he's gonna do what Jose was supposed to do, or what he was trying to do. I don't know if Eddie was going to try to take me down. Going into that fight, I figured he's not a wrestler. He's not going to – if you're not a good wrestler, I don't think you're going to be able to take me down. I have really good footwork. I have really good wrestling defense. And I have a really good guillotine and a lot of good chokes. So I feel like it's going to be hard to take me down and get into a dominant position unless you've have that high school wrestling, that college wrestling, that grind mentality. I didn't think Eddie was going to do that. I thought Jose Quinones was going to do that, but he just didn't get the opportunity to. I think Chito's going to try to. He has this weird little clinch that he likes to do, that he'll do in the open. If someone overextends on a punch, he'll try to get him in that clinch, and he's going to try to push me up against the fence, and he has some nice trips up against the fence. I think he's definitely not, his game plan can't be to strike with me. Like going into this fight, his game plan cannot be, I'm just going to strike with him. That just doesn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense for him. And I think he's a little bit smarter than that. So his game plan is going to put me against the fence. We're in a smaller octagon, and he's going to try his little trip that he does, that he's pretty good at, and win the fight like that.
In a weird way, are you almost looking forward to the first time you get taken down? Because then we can see some of this jiu-jitsu that you've been talking about. I mean, I know that because you're such a talented striker, I'm sure you'll try to defend any takedown. But are you almost, in a weird way, looking forward to the first time you go down?
I just look at it all as a fight. I think for me, obviously, I'm going to try to, like you said, try to avoid the takedown and keep it standing and outstrike him. And I, if he can't take me down, I'm going to knock him out. I have 15 minutes to knock him out if he can't take me down.
I think I could be Khabib. I do think, I'm so powerful. I hit so hard. I'm so athletic. I'm just as hungry as he is. I've been working for as many years as he has. And that's the challenge ultimately the only challenge that I care for right now. As soon as I beat Tony, Conor, that fight will always be there. And the same, more so than the sense that Khabib will always be there.
You probably saw in the news, he's not training in the States. Okay, so that's a little unusual for him because of the whole COVID thing. I see you smirking there when I said that. What's with the smirk?
His coach, Javier Mendez, has absolutely nothing to do with his game plan when he fights. This man is a wrestler. He will train what he trains, what he trains here, he will train there. He has the same team, a bunch of Russian dudes to try to beat his ass and make him stronger. But he's not a striker. He doesn't come here to work on his striking. He doesn't go to Javier and say, hey, build a game plan and let's figure out how to beat this guy on the feet. No, his game plan has always been and will always be to get it, against the fence and to the ground. And there's nothing in America that helps him there. I've always told everybody what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it. You have to stay up the fence. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy. Nothing I say right now, it'll all sound easy. But this is going to be the hardest challenge of my life. I've been wrestling since I was 4. I'll say it numerous times. I wrestled Jordan Burroughs 2 times.
Wow.
I was a Division I All-American. Again, I wrestled some of the toughest guys at their prime. College wrestling, Division I college wrestling in America is the highest level, other than going to the Olympics and wrestling on the international level. But we're not wrestling anymore. There's going to be a zone in front of me. It's not very big, and it's going to be a zone of death. And if, I have to represent death every time he enters this zone. And that's what I'm the best at, creating carnage, creating car crashes. So my only goal when I step in there is to create as many car crashes as possible.
Oh boy, I get way more nervous for when my friends fight than when I fought. So I'm really nervous for DC. I think that Stipe is quite the challenge. I think that his footwork in particular presents a problem for Daniel, who tends to kind of creep in and try to make the octagon, tries to make the octagon as small as possible. The octagon will be a little bit smaller, right. Literally. So I think that does play to his advantage. Stipe's not going to be able to move around as much as he normally does. And I think for a guy who has been fighting on pay-per-view main events for the, latter part of his career, that is going to be an adjustment, particularly for Stipe. He's going to have to be cleaner and more precise with where he goes, where he moves with his body, how he positions himself up against the fence. And I think for DC, that's a huge advantage. That it really is a huge advantage. I think that Stipe has certainly been in a lot of wars, but DC's been doing athletics for a very long time. His body, has a lot of miles on it from all the sports that he's been playing over the years. And, I think in regards to fight time and what's going on with the body, I think they're about even. I think that Stipe is probably the sharper striker as far as you take your traditional striking, but the way that DC mixes it up, I think gives him the advantage. DC, if he's able to get to the clinch, should be able to take that fight to the mat. I still don't think it's going to be easy. Stipe's very good at scrambling to his feet. I think DC's got to make some adjustments in this fight. If he's able to do it, I think he can get the win. I do think it's going to be an absolute war. I think it's going to be a big-time chess match. I will go with Daniel Cormier by decision.